You just speak freely. You can approach each question. If you need to, you want to repeat something because it's not the way you want to express
Okay.
it, you can do it. I will do the match.
All right. So do you want me to
Let's go with the
like
first
read
one.
the first question?
Yeah, but of course you will say, you will introduce yourself with your name and
Okay.
your role.
Okay. David Dixon, principal at Gilbert High School. I'm here to answer 3 questions for Carlos. First question is, what is your general perception of the level of teachers' digital literacy at GHS? Great question. I do think that varies based off of the teacher and their comfort level with technology. From my perspective, my perception is really operational proficiency versus kind of that instructional transformation. A lot of the teachers at this school, they are veteran teachers, which would be 10 plus years. They kind of are set in their ways of doing instruction. However, COVID flipped all of that for us. So I think we were kind of coming out of being dependent on technology to what is the balance of driving technology forward as a resource, not so much as the tool to use. So I think like some of the words that I jotted down, digitally competent versus strategically evolving, meaning AI is coming as a big part. So how do we manage that, not use it as a way for or to compromise our academic integrity? But also, are we, as the old guard, so to say, are we prepared to use this new technology in class? So there is a balance. So the general perception is sometimes more fear than willingness to jump in. So the second question is, what are the obstacles, challenges you notice as an instructional leader in the current rapidly changing landscape of educational regarding technology use in the classroom? Great question. Some of the things that I am seeing is the speed of the change. School districts are all looking to kind of be the best and the brightest and to have that school, which means for Lexington, one, in a district that has a lot of resources, a lot of money, sometimes we fund the newest, shiniest, and brightest tool before we really get to mastering what that tool is. So the speed of that change also comes in part with kind of the clarity of purpose when it comes instructional. Whenever you have instructional changes from the district or from the State Department, we all kind of revert back to how we learned. So I do think in 20 years it'll be a lot different type of conversation because of the basis that I learned is different than how kids are learning today. And in times of change, we revert back to what we know best. Another piece to that question that I jotted down is access and equity. We have 5 high schools in this district, and all 5 are funded differently. All 5 buildings are in a different situation. So to have that equity across the board is the tough thing. So I do think that piece comes into play. So really, at the end of the day, to answer this question, how can I say this? At the end of the day, our fear is restricting us from the technology. But we do need to have some parameters to help guide the ethical integration of the new technology with AI into the classwork. So that would be how I would respond to that one. The next question is, our data reflects a lot of substitution and low DOK levels when using technology. What actions are the instructional leaders taking to improve and create better learning experiences for students using technology like AI? I think the first thing that comes to mind when I hear this question is, are we shifting the conversation? And what I mean by shifting the conversation when it comes to using tools and technology, it would be the old way of asking this question is well, what technology are you using? I don't think we need to ask those questions anymore. It would be more or less of what level of thinking is the task requiring, and how can technology enhance that line of thinking. So in other words, it is really driving that higher order critical thinking while protecting the ethical academic side of the lessons, so that it is original thought. It's not a substitution for thought, which is kind of the key. The PL focus on AI, as far as thinking as a partner, it's really, it's almost redesigning the assessments on how we go about using technology, instead of just taking assessments on a technology-based platform. It would be, how can technology drive further collaboration? Can there be more oral defenses and reflective components from the students while using AI to support creativity and collaboration outside of the four walls and really across the world? So by having the higher level DOK, our strategies and practices will change, which means our resources will change at a higher level as well, and that's where the technology comes into play. So that would be my quick thoughts on the 3 questions, and there we go.